advice. Today I want to talk about things that are aging us versus things or lifestyle factors and different types of food that are anti-aging. So let's get into it. Stuff that is aging us. Number one, top of the charts, you've heard me talk about before, and that's stress. Stress is very, very good at making us look old. We look so old when we're stressed out. So what goes into that? What are some different factors that cause distress in our day-to-day lives? Working too much, that's a big one. And I know you guys have heard it many times before, people saying, well, when you're, in old age and you're breathing your last breath, nobody ever said in that moment, I wish I spent more time at the office. I wish I spent more time working hard at my job. Typically, people say, I wish I spent more time traveling. I wish I spent more time with my family, my friends, my loved ones. I wish I spent more time doing XYZ. Working too much is a huge factor of stress, which is a huge factor of aging. So ipso facto, working too much, especially if you don't like your job, ages you. Not sleeping enough. This is another huge factor that ages us and causes more stress on the body. You want to aim for at least 8 hours a night. I like to aim for 8.5 and sometimes even 9 hours. I find that I don't know, I need a lot of sleep, and I find that's how I perform at my best. That's how I look my best. That's how I feel my best. Along with not sleeping enough goes coffee/caffeine consumption, and that's incredibly aging. Why? Because it's so acidic. Our bodies operate optimally and are at their peak when you have a slightly alkaline pH balance in your system. If you guys remember chemistry class back in high school, your acidic alkaline, your pH scale goes from 0 to 14, and we like to be slightly in the 7.1, 7.2 range, if I'm not mistaken. Acidic foods, acidic drinks, like coffee, like red meat, like wine, certain medications are acidic. Those are all closer to the 0 end of the spectrum. Grains and, again, like I said, water and juices, kombucha, stuff like that, that can go over into the alkaline range. I would say the top two things that age us, sleep and stress. Next thing, well, we touched on this already, caffeine. Along with that, other types of chemicals. If we're eating foods that have a lot of weird chemicals in them, that has a really adverse effect on the body, and it ages us as well. High fat foods. Let's talk about that. Now, people will argue that to have a certain amount of fat in the system or, in the diet, as an adult is a healthy thing. It's something that keeps our skin and our hair looking really, really nice. It's something that helps us sleep better, helps us have better cognitive functioning, so on and so forth. Lots of great things that come from having some dietary fat. However, I would argue that having too much fat in our diet is aging. It slows down digestion, it sludges up the bloodstream, makes you gain weight. If you eat a ton of fat, you're going to have extra body fat. That's just a fact. Right now, it's a fad to say, eat fat to lose fat. I know the science behind that. I get what they're saying, but don't take that out of proportion and eat a ton of fat thinking that that theory or that statement will work tenfold if you eat tenfold amount of fat. That's not the case. Generally, when people are fatter, they look older. When people are lean and trim and have muscle tone on them, they look younger. Our next one I want to talk about, this is big, pollution. Pollution is super, super aging. If you are living in a certain area with a lot of pollution, there's, you can't really avoid it that much. I would just urge you not to go out and spend a ton of money on a lot of different products. If you have one that you swear by and you think really works, well then good on you. Keep using that. Just be extra aware of your diet and your water intake if you live in a highly polluted area. Extra added salt in a lot of your foods, that can be really, really aging as well. It can make you look more dry and shriveled. We do need salt, but we don't need to dump salt on everything, and we don't need to have a lot of highly processed, maybe frozen or canned foods that use salt as one of the ways that they preserve the food and make it, stay fresh longer on the shelf, and longer expiration date, all that stuff. Our next topic for aging, alcohol. Oh, this is a tough one because I enjoy alcohol. I love a little bit of whiskey or a little bit of wine or a little bit of gluten-free vodka. I love that stuff. But I also know, well, I also have super, super low tolerance, which, by the way, you can build. You can build a low tolerance to alcohol. If you have a high tolerance right now, you can bring it back down again. When I was in college and I wasn't as healthy, I could drink 7 beers. I would be very, very drunk, but I could drink 7 beers over the course of the night. I remember this, and survive. These days, my friends all make fun of me because if I have half a drink, like half a shot, I am super, super buzzed, super tipsters. And I don't mind it because it's inexpensive. If that's something I want to do that night, is to feel a little buzz. I don't want a ton of alcohol in my system. So if I can achieve the same result, having a good time with my friends by just having a little bit and then not having to feel too much of the effects the next morning, because it stays in your system for a couple days, which sucks, Basically, alcohol is super, super acidic. Every type of alcohol is. I think beer is hands down the worst type of alcohol anybody could drink, and my clients know that the one food group, really other than dairy, well, I shouldn't say beer's a food group, but one product that people drink, I tell them, please, if you can stay away from beer, because it ages you, yes, but it does all this other stuff too. When you drink beer, there's just this little, especially if you're female, but male too, there's this little tire that you'll form around your middle area, your lower middle area, and nothing can get rid of it. I feel like people can't exercise their way out of it, and I've seen this over the years of coaching people. When you drink beer, you will inevitably have a little pooch in your lower stomach, little tiny love handles, at least, if not more. Do I want to stop drinking alcohol? I do not. I do want to keep having it every once in a while, and what I mean by that is 1 to 2 drinks, maybe twice a month. And I always make sure that before I start drinking, I've had a really healthy day, which I do anyway every day. And also before I go to bed, I eat something to absorb some of that alcohol so that the next morning the effects are minimized. I don't feel as garbagey. Wake up, chug a liter of water, which again I do anyway. Okay, 2 more aging factors I want to go over, and then we'll get into the anti-aging, which is much more fun to talk about. Over-exercising and too much sun. These are really, really like walk a thin line. Don't do too little or too much either way. Over-exercising. I have nothing against marathons, marathoners, triathletes, triathlons of all different distances, people who do a ton of, I guess, bike riding. And I don't mean a ton like, oh, a half hour, 6 days a week. I mean like you're going out for 3 hours a day, 6 days a week or more. If you want to keep doing this, go do it, girlfriend or guy friend. Go kick butt with your sport. I love that. I'm glad that you're doing something. It's better than sitting on the couch. If you're going around polluted areas and running, along the freeways or highways or busy streets, and there's a lot of traffic, biking, same thing. If you're doing a ton of swimming in chlorine waters, that can have a damaging effect to your skin, and it's taxing on the body. Doing that much exercise, pumping your system that much, can really, really drain your body. And sometimes we ignore our signals that the body, our body's giving us, which is to rest, take a day off, maybe go a little easier this day, maybe don't go so crazy, don't go so hard. And sometimes we ignore them because we have goals, we have things we want to accomplish. We know once we get out there, we feel good, it's enjoyable, it's a release of endorphins, it's de-stressing. All these things are awesome. So again, it's a fine line that I'm walking here, telling you guys that exercising is so vital to anti-aging and being healthy and living your best life. But over-exercising can have the adverse effect from what we're trying to achieve. So, okay, anti-aging. I turned on this ring light to kind of differentiate between the aging portion of this video and the anti-aging portion. So, I don't know if it translates across screen, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, anti-aging stuff. Let's talk about this. I think a big, really fun, and really underestimated way to keep from aging too much is laughter. Laughter is such a great medicine for helping you feel better, helping to lower stress levels. So laugh while you can. Laugh it up with your friends, your family. If you're watching something like a comedy that's really funny, laughter is the way to go to keep you from aging. Making this video a lot longer than it probably should be, so let me rush through here. Consistent exercise we talked about. Alkalizing foods, that means lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, again, water. High raw diet, having lots of raw fruits, raw vegetables, lots of water too, and just having a plant-based diet is going to be very, very alkalizing for you. Nature, beach time, long walks in the forest, along the beach, along a pond, in a nearby park, all that stuff is going to be super de-stressing, super alkalizing, and super anti-aging. Spending time with your pets. Little guy over here, Yush, who's super tired right now and probably wants me to shut up so he can get his nap in. But what else? Oh, financial security. That's a really big one, and I don't have too much time to touch on it. But not buying everything under the sun, but having a little bit of money in savings, having something so that you know mentally, okay, I'm all right, everything's kosher. So yeah, just not spending money faster than you make it, but putting money aside as savings. That's going to give you some security, which is going to in turn lower your stress, which is anti-aging. And let's see, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Those are my anti-aging tips. I hope you got something from that. If you did, like my video, comment below with any other things that I maybe forgot about that you find are great rituals for anti-aging and you've seen the benefits of. And subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this, or also you can comment if you want different videos. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon.